Hi, people, and others who are not people. Maybe you have a dog listening to me. They leave the TV on for the dog, but then you listen to what's on that TV and it's not cool. In other words, murder, all kinds of bad stuff going on. Those dogs do understand words, you know. So anyway, I'm just saying that's something you might want to think about. So put Lou on. That's what I do. When everybody's gone from the house, I just go put me on YouTube and see what I put my channel on. There's a place where you can just say mix, and they will just keep playing my videos all day long. I don't know if you have to say, when they say, are you watching? Continue watching or whatever, and you have to hit a button. I don't know if you have to do that. I think it just stays on and it just plays random videos. So at least Mary Lou's voice most of the time is not going to incite negative stuff for your dog. Like murder mysteries and all these terrible things that my daughter has on her TV, and she does it to relax. I would think you would pay attention to what you're listening to. That's not relaxing. Anyway, it's just my opinion, and I'm full of them. So I have been going a little berserko. And yes, this is Lou. And I'm not sure what the day is. It's November. I bet it's the 14th. I wonder if this will tell me. It does. November 14th. Well, I could even see it. This is a very cheap watch. Although I got it for $21. And I got it from Walmart, and I got it during a sale, and they might still have some on that sale. Some things that are a special buy, they usually have to sell out of at that same price or whatever. But it was $129 off of the normal price, so just say it's $149. But the point is, it keeps track of my steps. I don't know if it does it correctly, because it seems like it gives me more steps than I take. But, we'll just hope that I'm actually doing that. And then, I don't know how to use it, okay? I put the app on my phone. But there's all kinds of things it'll do that I don't know how to do. But keeping track of my steps is a good thing. And then I push this button on the side and it'll show me the time. And it'll show me in like a normal clock, instead of digital numbers. I don't know if you can see it, but like that. I can't turn my arm. That's not going to show you correctly. It's going to be upside down. But anyway, the point is, then I can do that, and there's these apps. So I know to turn on the flashlight. I can touch the flashlight, and then my screen will say, it'll show a light or something, but then you touch the screen and it lights up. So at least you can put it to give you a little light on the subject. And I did my heartbeat. There's a heartbeat one, but I haven't figured out how to do the blood pressure one. That's one I need, and I think it does it. I just don't know how. But anyway, so it's got all those apps. See, this is all new to me. But it does do a little buzzer thing. Like when I get a message, or let's just say I get notifications because I have subscriptions. So when somebody puts on a video, it'll tell me. So my phone can be buzzing over nothing. I need to get some more of that material. Yes, I've been seeing all kinds of stuff. And I really don't know. It's enough to give a person a headache. But I have decided I like what I'm doing. What I'm fixing to do. But I decided also I need to finish these 3 blogs. So I can put a row together so I can attach it to that quilt. And I might add a row of just 6-inch. Or I could do some more of these mug rugs and turn them on their side and go across the top. In other words, if you see my videos, then you have seen the quilt I made out of these, okay? But when this is done, this is 12 inches and it's going up and down. So I do have enough. I can also do a sideways one across the top. I just wanted to add a little bit more to it because it'll be 6 feet with this row that I'm fixing to finish and attach. It'll be 6 feet long if I encase it all the way around at that point. But I might want to add just a little bit more to it. And I do have some of these, I believe. In fact, I have 4 of them sewn together. These are already sewn and encased and everything. I just need to add one to it, I think. But it might go all the way across just fine. But that also might have been the side. I was checking it on something. So like it's all one piece. Okay. But what it is 4 of what I was going to make mug rugs out of. So you can see where it's joined together here. And then there. So this could go across the top of that or the bottom. Just not sure if it will go all the way across or not. So all I would have to do is make another one. Make another one of these mug rug things and attach it on the end. And then if I have to cut it down to match, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. I am excited because quilting is something I always wanted to do. But you know, at this point in time, I cannot be doing this number here and trying to put a needle through all that material. I have seen a video lately where the woman was showing, I believe she said steel needles and pins. And she had layers of denim. And she was able to stick that needle just up, just like it was going through butter. I'm going, wow, that would really be trip. You know, you don't know how your fingers feel until you get older. I have a feeling there's a bunch of people that might know what I'm talking about. Just, you know, my job, I'm going to scatter around here. I had a job once, and it was for quite a long time. I mean, I started in packaging, but I ended up being a machine operator, and then I was a lead machine operator, and I was on my way to all kinds of stuff, but I thought I was going to be a family, and I quit my job when I had my baby. I worked until I was 8 months pregnant, then I found out after I quit my job that I was getting a divorce. Sorry, I don't mean to rant. That kind of just came up. You know, things are okay until they're not. Memories come up and haunt you. But really, I was doing great. And I had been there 5 years when I quit to have a baby. When I quit to be a family. Because I wanted to be a mommy. So what was the point of all that? I don't know what made me go there. Best laid plans. Okie dokie. So, I have been on a rampage because I love this mug rug quilt that I have done. I love it. Except for the fact that it's in rectangles. But see, I learned I learned a lot by doing this quilt. Even if the colors are random and kind of bold. Some people like that. But then this could be toned down to other colors. You know, you just pick your colors. So I'm going to show this again. I already showed it in a different video. But this is 2 of those things. Now this flap in the middle, see it's pent there. But the flap in the middle will open up. So if it can when it's pent, the way I've got it pent. But anyway, it will open up and end up being a binding for this square and a binding for this square. So this will have a blue binding all around, just like that other piece, except for that was a different video. Okay, anyway, I love this because you can quilt as you go. And it's a simple quilt, and the machine does it. You don't have to. And you don't have to have fancy stitches either, because all I'm doing is straight sewing. So like the back of these squares, they're not squares, they're blocks, okay? This is where I added material all the way across. Every time I added a piece of material, I was sewing through the backing. Same thing here. Nothing has to match. The idea is that you hold it together and it doesn't fall apart, right? And it's going to be nice and warm and cozy. I don't know how heavy this is going to end up being. My daughter thought it would be too heavy because, well, because every time something is added, there's a seam under there, adding material all the way across. So it makes it soft and squishy. But I don't know. I don't like heavy. So I don't know if this is going to end up being heavy. And then I did see, I have to think about that, because I did see where one of the ladies that does tutorials and does quilts and stuff, she was using a batting that was 80-20. But I didn't hear what she had to say about that, except for that it was a lighter weight, seemed to be. So it has 20% polyester and 80% cotton. I believe the price is cheaper, and it might be like a loftier, lightweight batting. I don't know. But I bought a bolt of batting, and I've just been cutting. I've been cutting my stuff off of it, and I don't remember how many yards there was on it. And I really can't remember for sure the price, because I'm thinking it was around $60. It's, it's just wonderful when you look back and you can see how they used to do quilts. And maybe they still do. Because it'd be a lot easier to just go ahead and lay out these squares that don't have batting and backing and stuff and just make something pretty. But then you got to put it on batting and backing and connect it and quilt it. So these tutorials have really helped. And I'm liking this particular design. So then the other thing is, what size do you want your squares? Now I'm doing it this way because I have all these squares cut. And I'm not positive if I should make these bigger than I have them already, because what they said is to make it 1 inch bigger all the way around. So my squares that I already have done are 6 inches by 6 inches. So the backing, I made 8 inches by 8 inches. And as long as everything's positioned right, there should be enough to turn it over and turn it over again and top stitch. And have everything encased and pulled together and not where it's going to fall apart. And I do love these mug rugs. I mean, I should I should make some just as mug rugs, because they're beautiful. They're beautiful just to look at. And so, like, I went over to my grandson's the other day to see the baby. Me and Jesse went over there. And he's got a stack of my coasters on his coffee table. But I think I should take those back and give him some bigger ones. He wanted bigger ones anyway. And then these mug rugs, if you think about it, This is the size right here. And so this would be encased. It wouldn't be as big as this material and this material. It would be the same size as the material going across. When it's all said and done, that'll be framed. But it's a nice little placemat. It's nice. And actually, see, he's got a glass coffee table, and he's got my coasters stacked up, but they're little. So he could have a couple of these laying on his table, and then they could just use them when they want to, when they need to. I really think it's a good idea. So once I'm done with my quilt, we'll see what happens. Because really, just beautiful material makes it nice. Even though it's not got real special quilting designs, you know. And yeah, this is just because I had it already, okay? These are the printed materials I bought when I was with, I'm pretty sure I bought them when I was with Dad. I found them on sale. I was getting into sewing, and I found them on sale. I can't even remember if it was a 3-yard cut or not. It probably was. But it was just a bolt wrapped up, and it was on sale. And even on sale, it was still $13. That's not a good enough sale. I think it said it was $20 to begin with, and then it was on sale for $13. But I bought 2 of them. The red one and the blue one. I've been going a little crazy buying material by the yard here, but not paying a bloody fortune. Some of it I paid $3.18 a yard, and I think one of them I paid $2.17 a yard. And it almost seems like, I can't remember what I paid for that red. I bought 16 yards. But see, what I did was I thought I was buying 2 bolts of 8 yards. But no, they didn't send me a bolt at all. They sent it flat, zigzagged to 16 yards, all one piece. And in some ways, all one piece is nice. If you're doing a lot of garment things where you're trying to cut on the bias or on the this or that, you know, laying out your pattern, not running out of material before your piece. And I really do think about that. I did sew my clothes once upon a time. And there are some dresses I want. But really, sometimes it's cheaper to buy the dress that someone else made. Okay, so I have 3 of these that I need to make. And I kind of got waylaid doing something else. Because I started doing the squares. 6-inch by 6-inch. 8-inch by 8-inch backing, but 6-inch by 6-inch size of square and batting. And I ran out of batting. And I just made all these stacks, and they're in the other room. So I'll just have to show you that later. But what I'm trying to do is just make a bunch of squares that I can pull together later. If I can hold on to myself long enough, because I want to get right after it. Meaning, I want to get right after it. Make sure that's still running. Sometimes I'll be talking and it's not even running. Okay, so I need another piece to go with that. And you know what? I think the green will go good with that. I have to order some more of this. I cut it all up into 3.5-inch strips because I had something else in mind. And I'm going to have to incorporate those too. But they're kind of weird. In other words, okay, these are going to be 6-inch squares. Oh, I didn't give myself really a lot of room on that. I shouldn't have cut them exact because they're never exact. Do, 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 do. I know. I don't need to do that. I'm not going to do that. I will wait. So I only have these 2 pieces of this size, but they're not long enough. What do I want to put next? Okay, I'll put the blue next. I have to go and cut more strips. I have several that are 3.5 inch. I don't know if these are going to be long enough either. Damn. Darn. Dag nabbit. Next thing you know, dag nabbit will be bad. Wait not let you in. They're too short. How come? What's the deal? I must have cut the batting too fat, right? I'm going to make that work. Maybe. Don't want to really have to make anything work. So, I think I'll take that back up. Bummer. Bummer. I think that's long enough, but it's so skinny. The skinny gives it some, what would you say, character. It's kind of like, I've always been like that. When I was very young, I was drawing houses. I'm sure I took after my mama. She was probably always looking at houses even when I was a baby. We would go out on Sundays and go look at houses. Sometimes we're talking about going into new neighborhoods where they are framing up the house. In other words, they're in different stages and they're at the very beginning, so you walk in on the floor and see all the walls laid out and stuff. We would do stuff like that. But I was going to say, even when I was in the 3rd grade, I was drawing houses and drawing the inside, how I wanted the floor plan and all that stuff. But what I started off saying is a house with character, not a square box. So, these mug rugs with different size things are kind of like those houses with character. So for these are, even though it's a simple thing, I mean, really it is simple to do this quilting. It's just a matter of putting it all together, right? Do, 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 do. I guess I could show you that part instead of me. So far I've got it. So I've got my phone plugged in and I can't get it any lower. Maybe I should just unplug it. Unplug it and see how long it lasts. There. Okay, so I'm just joining. So I've got my backing and my padding, which is my batting. Move these, I'll show you. I have 3 of these to do. Okay, so the fabric and the batting is in place. Got an inch all the way around. And I'm just going to sew some strips to them so that I can finish that quilt. I kind of put it aside, but I'm so close to the end. Excuse me. So I'm just going to do it. So what I was kind of saying was, you know, as I go along and I'm adding material, sometimes having different sized strips gives it more character. And really the material, if I had some really wonderful, great material besides just these solids and stuff. Oh, I forgot what I did. Okay, I will do it this way. Ow! I will do it this way. I just got stabbed in my thumb knuckle. Do, 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 do. Because that thing is pinned together and it stabbed me. Okay, I'll pull these. See what I learned after making many of these, and I forgot because I cut it off. Okay, let me show you. Can you see what I'm doing? No, you can't. Okay, up here. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Anyway, so I have sewn this. I have sewn a seam across here, attaching both two pieces of material to the batting and to the backing. And since I already cut it off, I can show you the back. Meaning I started not cutting the thread. I started doing something different so that I didn't have to worry about my thread coming undone. But so here's a line sewing these two pieces together on this batting all the way through, okay? So by the time I finish adding all these strips that will cover this, it will be quilted. And then this extra material on the top and all the way around becomes a binding. It binds itself. Sorry about my throat. You better get down. I have a cat in here. All right, so what I need to do is figure out my next piece of material. And I think I'll just go ahead and do black. Unless it won't fit. It just barely fits. Okay, so I'm going to add black. Although I wouldn't normally just add black to this blue. In fact, but see, I ran out of those things. That's too little to even. I ran out of a certain material because I got crazy and made a bunch of squares, okay? This material right here is just too thin, so I'm not going to add it. But I would normally add it about now because it matches that blue really beautiful. And I did get some more of that blue, so I'm going to, I gotta fix that. I will be making some blue 8x8 squares and also some of this same blue. Okay, we'll just have to make that work. Okay, so I'm going to attach another piece. Now, since I cut my thread, I'm going to have to hold on to the back here to get it started. It tends to draw up my thread, then I end up having to thread the needle. I can't be doing that. I can thread the needle, but it's not always easy to even see the hole. Okay, so instead of cutting that thread, I'm going to lift up my pressure foot. I've already lifted up the needle. I'm just going to turn it around and see if you have it at just that right spot, you can pull out some thread. Okay, so folding over that material. And it needs to, I need to fix it. Make it go down there. Okay, because it was riding way up, but see, I was able to make it go down. All right, I got pins in here. I'm going to take a couple out. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in there. And see, since I was talking about pins, I can go take these out too. Okay. Alrighty then. Uh-oh. What am I doing? I got ahead of myself. I got way ahead of myself. Go backwards. All right, now let's just go back, pull that up. I need a piece of material to add to it. And I still want that royal blue. Why? Okay, so I started sewing the black down, and I didn't need to do that because when you put another piece of material with it, okay, that'll work. Do, 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 do. Now I can sew. Kind of dumb. I mean, it would have been nice, yeah, I had the material sewn down, but you're supposed to be adding another piece at the same time. I was not back stitching before because I don't think I needed to, and I still don't know if I need to. Ow, ow, ow. So I'm going to fold this material back, this red. Make sure it's kind of in place. Okay. Well, we'll see if this will fit. I don't have very many of these either. I might be out. I've only got these few strips all lined up, but we'll use them while we can. Maybe I'll find some more material that I can cut up. Problem is they're all 6x6s, and this is a 7. Where the batting is 7 inches. Okay. Do, 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 do. I've decided to embrace the speed of this machine. You don't want to just be crawling along if you don't have to. But you do want to be careful of puckering up your material and stuff. It's not like I know what I'm doing, right? Okay, but I have learned a few things as I've done. In other words, I was doing a totally different. I was putting on a piece of material and then flipping it over, and I'd be cutting the strings, and I start over, and each time I added a piece of material, I was starting over with a long piece of thread and worried about it coming unthreaded, where I would have to thread it again. I have a hard time seeing the needle hole. Anyway, so now, instead of doing what I was doing, you know, stop, cut, start again, stop, cut, start again, I am going to the end. I'm doing a back stitch, but then I'm pulling the needle just so that the thread will release, and then I can move it. So like right now, have I done that yet? No, I haven't, and it's even tight. So I'm going to hold this thing on the side and move it back and forth a little bit, and it'll help me release that thread. So you can see the thread's still there. Well, I'm not going to undo that thread. I'm going to have enough room that I can pull my material over and get it situated. Okay, and then I need another piece of material. Now, see, I still want to use this royal blue, but they seem to be too short. What is the longest? I need a long one. If I do it just right, you know, even if it isn't quite long enough, if I do it just right, ooh. Okay. I like this cobalt. Next to this print, it's got that color in it. It looks good. And it's plenty long. And then we'll see what to do after that. Da-dum, da-dum. All right, so with what I did and not cutting the thread is holding it in place. I just lower the foot, put my needle in, and go. And it will hold my thread so that I don't have to worry. Have to be careful or it will pucker. Pucker up. Pucker up. Okay. I don't want to undo that yet, do I? Yes, I do. Okay, I'm going to take the pin out. I've sewn plenty enough. The pin's where to hold it in place. And it's not budging from where it's at. And also, it's really nice. The batting kind of grabs the material. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and release my needle. And I kind of make it go up and down a little bit so it releases that thread. And I'm turning it around. And I'm turning my material over. And I'm doing a finger press, is what they call that, where you push it into place, which is a good thing because sometimes it doesn't fit. Now, what do I want to do on the end? I want a royal blue on there, but see, I'm at the end now. So maybe I'll do another one of these cranberries. And if I do it just right, it'll be long enough to cover the end. Just barely. But it should work. Okay. Okay. I've got a kitty over there walking on stuff. Shouldn't be out of doing that. Okay, I hope it will cover. It's going to be close. And I'm going to cut those strings. I don't know where they went. All wrapped around this thing that they shouldn't be wrapped around. Okie dokie. What I need is something that will hold my strings. They curl all up. Okay, let's see what we came up with. Okay, so I haven't folded that over, that last one. I'm hoping. Boy, pushing it out, finger pressing it is going to make it work. And I've got one little piece right here, and I'm just going to cut that off. So I will be trimming I can't control my little self here. But, so you get the idea. I have to trim that back to the backing. And so each one of these, where I've ended sewing, I really shouldn't go all the way to the end, just close. But I have to trim everything to match the batting. But that will work. And that is a great technique, not having to cut and start your threads every single time you do a dilly wop. So like on the back, let's see if you can see, there'll be a string that I need to cut and a string that I need to cut. I just need to cut them to the material because I've done a back stitch on all of them. But really, I should not go all the way to the edge on the backing. That way it gives me a little leeway to trim it to the backing. That's how I ended up cutting my backing last time, I'm sure, because it was right on the edge. All right, kitty, what are you doing? Do you want me to open that door? I could do that. Let me get this thread. I got a piece of, actually, I forgot to check. I need to go out and check the mail. It's not mail, but my iron. I believe my iron has arrived. So it's probably in a package on the porch. And I've been waiting for that thing because I just want to iron my stuff and iron my seams that I'm going to sew. Okay, groovy. Now I've got to do 2 because I needed 3. And this one is done, all but trimming it. All but trimming it. It'll be nice to actually see a quilt come together. I can say that it'll be a first for me. I have worked on quilts, you know, like a quilting bee. I've done that with the Relief Society group. Okay, this one's going to have to be trimmed. Those don't need to be trimmed. These are finished. They don't need to be trimmed. That doesn't need to be trimmed. That one does. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to do 2 more. And they're already waiting for their material to be put on them. Uh-oh. What is going on there? I don't want that cut there. Do I? I don't think I want to cut that. We'll just see what happens when I sew something together. Okay, this has got a blue backing, so I can start with any color. I think I'll start with red and hope it'll go across. And it does. Okay, so we'll put red in place. Do 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 do. All right, it's really neat that the batting kind of grabs the material and holds it in place. Okay, it's really kind of perfect. Okay, what's next? You know, I don't think I have any prints to go with this. So it's just going to have to be solids. And hope that I have what'll look good with it. Let's see. Anyway, that cat is over there walking on a package, making crinkly noises. Okay. Forgot to turn you back around. Don't know what the kitty's doing. I have finished my first 1,200 yard spool of thread. Just barely, not in this video, but just barely did that. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces of material butted up to the end. This is the end where the batting is. So I put one that fit right there, and then I put one on top of it that fit on the furthest part of that first piece. I'm fixing to sew them down. And actually, I better grab that thread. I really hate that, you know. Okay, let's get her done. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out, turn it around, get ready to put another piece on. So you want to finger press it and make sure it's going to cover the top and the bottom, that it's straight out. You know, this thread is awful long. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. No, I don't have the proper just clipping scissors, so I'm a little awkward here, and I don't want to cut my material trying to cut the string. All right, so I am going to find another piece of material, and I'm going to try to have the blue go across. I hope it will. Sometimes it's because I have the batting cut too fat, but this is going to work. We're going to make it work. I love the royal blue. And it really looks good next to brown. Alright, I backstitched. I'm going to lift that up. I'm going to bring my needle up to where it starts to go back down, and then push it back up again, which will let me pull that thread out. Alright, so that cat. So I'm just pushing it to where it belongs. Right. I bet that's the same color. I've got cranberry and I've got henna. That's the name, henna. Okay, that is different. Yeah, I can't tell for a fact. Okay. So yes, I used brown first. I'm going to use this cranberry. This will be all solid, because I don't have any more of the print to use. Would you calm down over there? All right. Move this into place. I be in love. Do, 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 do. Alrighty. We begun. So, okay, I see where there's a problem right here. Get over there. Okay. I know, boring, isn't it? A boring video. And it's kind of probably annoying, all the noise. However, it's so cool. Okay, so just this one thing that I've been doing opens up a door for a lot of things. Because I can make all kinds of things. And I thought about couch cushions. Thought about just going and finding out what are the, and I can do that online too, what are the sizes of the most common pillow for your couch. Because they sell those, you know. They sell these inserts, pillows that are naked. And I can make something beautiful that you could slide a pillow into. It's a thought. Everybody's showing all these quilting ideas. Okay, come on, I need more. Need more string. I need that. That is just beautiful. So yeah, those are two different colors. One is cranberry and one is henna. I keep wanting to say Elena. Which is not correct. Well, what would be pretty with that? You know what? It's not that it would look pretty with it, but I'm going to use it anyway. I'm going to use black. Black is only in a couple of the squares, or I keep calling them squares, but blocks. The blocks of my quilt. That is so, what would you call it? Flamboyant, that's the word. It's got bright colors. Okay. Do, 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 do. Surely I took the pins out. Uh-oh. I didn't go backwards. Oh, well. I don't think it's going to really matter. I've just been doing overkill. Went all the way to the edge again. Just makes it harder to trim that. All right, so the string is not going to release unless you're at just the right spot. So when you go to release it, if you're doing what I'm doing, you pull it, it won't let it go. Then you take the side arm over here and just move it up and down a minute, and it'll let go. And then really what I mean is a second. It only takes a second. Just needs to be in the right position to let go. Now, I think black goes with everything. So, what should I put next? Is there something? I just don't think this green is big enough. But I am on a different backing. Aha! Meaning some of these backings might be, it's not the backing, it's the batting. Might be skinnier than on a different one. Because the green wasn't big enough for the other one. And it's hot. Okay, where's that thing? Da-dum, da-dum. Yeah, I need to listen to some good music. That would lift my spirits high. As long as it's good music, like I said. You don't want to listen to crying in your beer drinking music. That's what I used to call country western music. Maybe it's better. You know, we all cry over what we had and we lost, or what we never had to begin with. It just makes you sad. So we don't want to do that. All right, I got pins to take out. I shut the door, and this room is so small. So whatever heat's going on got me hot. All right, I'm going to pull this string out a little bit, and then I got to go back and get it into place. Meaning you want to put it back through the pressure foot. Okay, what do I want on the end? Dum dee dum. All right, I think I'll just do another cranberry. Okay, so you set it up at the end of the last one, and you make sure it's going to go all the way across. You get it up straight. This will go so I can give it more room. Da, da, da. Listen, I don't want you up there. I'm going to spank your butt. Come on, down. Don't be jumping into my mess. I need to open the door and let it out. I'm not going to. Here, come on, get on out of here. So I don't have to be mean. Now I dropped some stuff on the floor. I had stuff in my lap, I guess. Now it's got dog hair on it. Yeah, price of having dogs. Okay, it is okie dokie. So I'm on my last piece. I'm halfway sewn through it. Last piece of this particular one, because I still have one more to do. I really should figure out a skirt for me. I mean, I've done it before, so surely I could do it again. Get back out of there. Okay, I think it's gonna work. You know, I've gotten to the end before and it wasn't enough to cover it, but this will cover, I'm pretty sure. Do 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 do. Beautiful. Okay. Without it being trimmed, but it'll be trimmed perfectly rectangular, and then it can be encased. And I think I might just still keep doing that because I do think they would make nice mug rugs. Just have to get some really nice material. Okay, now this has pins in it. We got to get the pins out. Do 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 do. You have to be careful when trimming it, people. I already sliced into my material before, so not cool. But this one is all solids, and it does look good. So it doesn't have to have printed material in there. There you go. I've only got one to go. Then I'll have 3 to trim. And then I'll be sewing them to each other. And then I'll be sewing that strip to the quilt. And then, then I'll probably have something else to sew on it. Because I'm thinking I might add another 6 inches to it. Not another foot, but 6 inches. I like that. So there'll be 2 with just solid colors on that quilt. That are rectangular like this. I got one more to do. And that'll make a row. That'll finish a row on my quilt once I put it together. Which will make it 6 feet. 72 inches long. Plenty wide enough. I don't know how wide, but plenty wide enough. Because I was thinking I might have made it too wide. But we want to make sure they can cover up. Right? Do the cover up. Wonder if I can start with the grain. this time. Will it work? So close. So close, we're going to call it good. And then we want to put it right smack in the middle. So the batting will be showing on both sides, but just a little bit. So that when I do the binding, it'll cover it. Okay, now what would go good with that? I love blue and green together. But that aqua looks like it would go really good with it too. I don't know if it's aqua or turquoise. It might be called turquoise. I don't know if I have a piece long enough either. Ain't no mountain wide enough. I do have a piece big enough. I'm excited. I have to go cut a whole bunch more squares. And then what I'm going to do is keep looking for more material, I guess. Like Carly wants green. Well, I only got one color of green. And I'm thinking if she loves green that much, and if she wants a solid background, I could just go get some more of that same green. And do all of the back and the casings in that green, and then I have to figure out what to put inside the squares. So I need to find material that she would really like. And yes, it would make it a lot easier if I didn't have to worry about that. So I have to quit doing that. Talking about making different backings. So that, okay guys, what do we got going on here? I need my string, my thread, and I need more light. Okay, let's see. Okay, I want more thread, you see, because otherwise, plus I'm gonna hold it tight too. And yes, I do talk to myself. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. I know all about it. Okay, so I am doing the same thing. It's the best thing. To me, it's the best thing. Because I was doing it way different to begin with. Anyway, so now I'm going to fold over the material. That's my first two pieces is green and blue. Green and blue go good together. Ouch. I'm not sure what I want to put with that. I don't know if that's brown or burgundy. That's the burgundy. It's not named burgundy. I'm going to go ahead and do royal blue if it'll fit. I hope it will fit. Barely. Guys, I love the royal blue, but you just don't want too much of it. That's why I was worried about the whole back being royal blue when you could make it different squares. So I have to control myself. Okay, let's get over here to the end, and then we'll go back, and we'll come back, and then we'll bring the needle up. We'll go past that point. Come back. Pull some thread to my needles now so I can pull them out. Not needles, but pins. I stick you. I'm pretty good at getting stuck. Okay, so I have added a royal blue to whatever blue that is. I'm just not really sure what that blue is. Because I did buy some that was turquoise, and I think that's what it is. But I like different. Let's see, what have we got going on here? We did royal blue. Okay, I just don't know if I want that there. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and add red, if it'll fit, and it does. Kind of, gotta make it fit a little bit. Okay. Okay, come back here. There. It'll be nice to get that quilt done. Because I am one that gets something partly done and doesn't finish it. Because I'm too busy doing the next thing. So, at least I got this close to being finished. So I gotta get her done, and I don't want to do that. I was just about to cut that thread. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this out and make it go up where it belongs. By finger pressing in, you can push the material along here, get it straightened out, and it'll be where you want it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do black now. Black and red go good together. And yes, I do look good in red. I oughta, and I got a lot of material. Need to fix me something. So I guess I need to start looking for patterns. Uh-oh, stop, stop, stop. What's the deal here? Okay. Stuck. Ain't no mountain high enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. Roll back the material, do your finger press so it's in place. Like I can pull this down a little bit. Okay. The way it was sticking up a lot further than the batting up here at the top, but down here it was showing batting. So by straightening that out, I was able to get the material to cover the batting on the bottom and not be so far up on the top. Okay, so now I've got room for one more good sized one, or two smallers. I'd rather do one good size, so let's hope it'll work. See, by the time I was cutting the cranberry ones, I'd already learned a few things. Like, give yourself a little bit more room, because I had started cutting the strips right at 7 inches. And sometimes that wasn't enough for the batting. Okay, we're going to try it, people. and hope that it works. Okay, here we go. Do, 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 do. Okay. Pull the string quite a ways on mine. I don't know about yours. Mine is going to use that string. Okay, I'm rolling it back. Cut the string. Okay, just barely. Just barely. So I can trim that batting off if I need to. Okay, I'll show you. Huh. You know what? This thing just, I was looking to see the time, and it paused at 1:11:22. So I don't know how much I did with it not showing. Anyway, I was trying to tell you guys that I got the 3 done. I just got to trim them out and then add the 5 together. Actually, it's 7. There'll be 7 in a row, and then I will have to add that to the rest of the quilt and bind that. So it's not like it's just simple, but I am on the end. I'm on the inward stroke. And I don't have my scissors in here. Anyway, I'm just going to let you guys go. That's what I was going to do. So I don't know what I missed, but I didn't realize it was this long. Be happy. That's what someone said to me. Be happy. And that's what I will try to do. Be happy. Not always easy, though. We just have to overlook some things, get past it, and find something happy to grab onto. Things are going really well, as far as I know, with my cancer. I haven't been worried about it. I mean, kind of a little bit sometimes, but I put my faith in that ivermectin, and I took it, and I took it, and I took it, and I probably shouldn't have taken it as much as I took it, because when you worm an animal, you only do them once every 6 months or a year. But I had a need. I wanted to kill cancer, but I shouldn't have taken it as much as I did, so I'm not advocating doing that. But my cancer marker numbers are way down. They're not down to normal, and I'm not sure what normal is. I looked it up, and it said something about they really don't know. And they think that it might be somewhere around 30-ish. But it doesn't mean, even if it's higher than the 30, they said it doesn't mean that you have a disease. So, I don't know, man. However, we know from PET scans and different things. So this last PET scan, I need to go back and listen to because I recorded it, my session with my doctor. But if what I remember is right, the cancer's gone itself in one spot. This is where they did a mastectomy. And it was in the side. So, I mean, even though it's certainly not a perfect thing that they did, I guess I can be grateful. Because they left me with a cave. They went right down to my rib cage. And it was a horrible looking thing. I mean, I've got a picture of it in my camera roll. Really bad. So I can be grateful that I have a lump instead of a cave. I mean, at least there's a mound there. And I do have sensitivity there, which is cool. Anyway, take care of yourself. And do better than I did. But I'm just saying, I did my treatments like they wanted me to do, and I'm still doing them for now, which is a hormone therapy, ripping my hormones out of me, making me a wrinkled up sourpuss. I don't know about the sour part, but, you know, sometimes I am. But taking away your hormones, because that's what the cancer wants. So it's starving the cancer from the hormones, okay? And then I took ivermectin with it. So I don't know what condition I would be in without the ivermectin, but I don't care. The point is, I want to kill this thing. I want to live. I have things to live for. And I guess we all do, but sometimes, you know, sometimes I can remember feeling it. I can remember, you know, no big deal. If I go, I go, you know. But then when you get something going on in your life that's exciting, you don't want to go, right? So it gives you a reason to live. But anyway, life is what you make it. Isn't that what they say? And sometimes we don't always have good options. So we have to be, started to say forceful. I mean, right now, there's something that part of me would really like to be forceful with. And the other one says, oh, well, whatever. Because, you know, I shouldn't have to fight for it. I should not have to fight for it. So, it's just a matter of how you look at things. Should you fight for it? Should you go and do that which you think you should not ought to do? I don't know. I'm just going to stay in my own little world. But I might not get what I want if I do. But then again, maybe I'll get what I want. Or maybe I don't know what I want. And you guys fit in that category. I'm just going to do my quilts. And do what I think is beautiful. And hope my grandkids like them. I mean, I probably shouldn't have asked for colors, but I really wanted to see, you know, what are their favorite colors, because I want them to like it. But I want to be able to do it, and I want to find material at a decent price, and blah, blah, blah. I do love these. I do love this, you know. So if this was all trimmed out and laying on your table, and say your furniture or your decorations are in blue or whatever, because you got all the colors across the board. I mean, no, there's not a yellow, and there's not an orange and all that stuff, but, you know, I could make it that way. And I'm thinking about doing it, because really, I do love these. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye, people. I've been on here way too long. Thanks for sticking around if you did. And I guess our goal is to be happy, right? Man's search for happiness, or woman's, but it is supposed to be a God-given right to be able to find that happiness and not be oppressed. I need to learn some words. Seems to me like oppressed, if I'm saying it right, means to hold you back, to hold you down, to stop you from progressing. And we don't want that. We need to progress. I do need to be happy, because happiness is healing. I'm not sure what time I went to bed last night, but I did get some sleep. And then I got up and got busy because I had things to do. So I guess I could take you in there. I'll take you into my room and show you what I did. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I'm coming into my room now, and I've got it all laid out on my bed. And there's a cat on my bed too, and another cat in my room. So I left the door open. Okay, I'm going to shut the door because you can hear that noise. It's really loud. I'm going to have to go downstairs and shut that down. Okay, I got really hot, so I tore off my shirt. Put that there. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, but I'm going to show you. Okay, let me see right here. So here's a stack of 8x8s. These are 8x8 squares, which will be the bottoms of these. So here's a whole row of squares that are made. Let's see if you can see it. You probably can't, but if I turn it over, you can. You can see that I've sewn an X through that, and it's going through the batting. So that's the front and the batting and the back, all in one square. So that's got a whole bunch of different colored squares. Some of them are solid. There's kitties. It's upside down. You know, just a lot of different things. So when I'm done, I'm going to put blocks together, and they're going to be simple. And I will be binding it as I go too. So it'll all be done. Now these are 6x6s that are not attached to anything. And then you can see this is all black. And I've got all different colors. So just picture, because when I'm done, they will be the squares. They'll be like this. Okay, I'm shadowing it. And then you can see this. You can't see it very well. There's not a lot of light in here. But this will come and encase it. This will come and encase it. And this will come and encase it. And it's so just like this, all the way around. But there'll be blocks and blocks and blocks. So right now, I'm getting myself a little confused because I'm asking about colors from my grandkids, okay? So Kevin said he likes royal blue, he likes baby blue, he likes black, and he likes gray. I don't have any of the gray done. I have some gray that's going to be the backs. And then I don't know what will go good with that. It's silver black. So he said black and gray and royal blue and baby blue. So I think I'm just going to go with that and try to do my own thing. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a solid black back or a solid royal blue back, or if I want to do a royal blue and black back. That might look really pretty. Just leave it with those two colors for the back, and then I need to incorporate the other colors through the front. So that's Kevin. And then Tyler, I started out doing something for Tyler and I didn't like it, so I stopped. But this is one of his colors, this blue here. And that will look good with that flower. But anyway, I'm just sharing what I've been doing. These are 6x6 squares. And so are these, which will end up on these, making these. And then ultimately making a whole row and then a whole bottom of this. And over there is my quilt that I haven't finished yet. The ones that I've been working on. But I'm going to get her done. It'll be my goal to get that finished. And that will be a sense of accomplishment because I'm not good at accomplishing things. I got to go eat. So I'm going to say bye.